Are you ready to turn your opinions into cash? Join the Surveyo community today and start earning money by completing our paid surveys. Joining is easy. Just click the link in the video description to sign up and become part of our growing community.
Alongside the Battle of Britain and Dunkirk, D-Day holds a shrine in British history as a moment where the country's heroism came head-to-head with the Nazi regime. And as we mark the landing's 80th anniversary today, the bravery and sacrifice of our Second World War soldiers is deservedly at the forefront of our public consciousness. Politicians have taken a step back from campaigning, the royal family are out in force to pay tribute at remembrance events, and Britons up and down the UK are recalling the fateful day. Or so you might think, as MailOnline took to the streets to quiz Gen Z on the anniversary of the Normandy landings to see just how much they know about the Allied invasion of France. Some admitted they didn't really listen as their grandparents tried to tell them about their history, and others said they had no idea what the moniker meant. One even believed it stood for doomsday. One girl in Birmingham laughed in embarrassment as she guessed that the infamous battle happened in 1970, while one Brighton resident said she thought it had taken place in London. But others did their country proud as they launched into forensic detail and answered a series of questions designed to test their awareness to its limits. Speaking in Birmingham, Ash Robinson, 21, said he thought D-Day was the bombing of Britain, although he admitted he didn't know exactly where in Britain this had happened. When pressed, he later added that he thought it had taken place in Birmingham. "I think it might have been some in London, but mostly Birmingham, I think." While some youngsters managed to rattle off all the coded beaches where troops landed in France, several others listed London as the place they believed Allied troops had landed. Emily Painting, 25, who works for the civil service, added, "I actually don't know. I have no clue." When asked when it had taken place, she continued, "I don't know." 1970? Student Luke Marsden, 19, continued, "My great-gran tried to tell me so much about it and I didn't really listen. Maybe the day that there was some landing somewhere?" And Mia Allen, 21, said, "No, I don't know anything about it." But the historic event appeared to have been overshadowed for some. Ibrahim Abdullah, 24, told a reporter, "Doomsday is a day when the world ends." Okay, so what do we define as the world ending? It's when you're raised up from the dead and you're all gathered to the plane of resurrection. He appeared slightly worried when asked when it had taken place. He continued, "When did D-Day take place? I don't know. This is my analogy of doomsday." With a shake of his head, he also said he didn't know where it had taken place. Looking even more bewildered, Ibrahim said it marks the beginning of the Day of Judgment, I guess. In Newcastle, youngsters questioned by MailOnline were more successful, with one group of 4 being able to talk fluently about D-Day as they walked back from their food shop. Noah Gleto, Joanna Ingham, Lily Smith, and Katie George, who were all 19, were able to describe what the historic day was, where it had happened, and even name 2 of the 4 beaches. While she was less confident, Dariana Thomas, 28, also knew that it was a landing during the Second World War. Joe Pescott, 31, could even say that the landing happened on June 6, 1944. He added that it marked the Allied liberation of Nazi-occupied Europe. Even Rhian Brown, 21, who was not from the UK, knew that it was a military operation. But not everyone in the northern city were quite so knowledgeable. 19-year-olds Clemmy Pinkerton, Phoebe Natras, and Annabelle Lynn covered their heads in their hands as they asked if it was Dunkirk vibes. Asked where it had happened, they continued, "Around here somewhere?" "France? France?" To the horror of her friends, Clemmy then answered that D-Day marked the end of the Cold War, which historians say continued until 1991 with the fall of the Soviet Union. In Brighton, an hour along the south coast from where King Charles, Queen Camilla, and the Prince of Wales yesterday met veterans, Gen Zers did not seem any more clued up. Erin Masson, 25, said she thought D-Day was the day the war ended. Asked where she thought it had happened, she quizzically responded, "London?" Speaking in Churchill Square, she said, "I know it's something to do with the war. Maybe it's the day the war ended? I know it.